Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content surrounding childhood sexual abuse. I am myself somebody that society considers to be a survivor. That's somebody that's gone through this traumatic experience that's basically here living to tell the tale. I see myself as somebody that's more than a survivor. I see myself as just Yvonne, somebody who's thrived in spite of hard, traumatic childhood experiences. And it is because of this I'm able to share with you on this channel openly and honestly my experiences of going through childhood sexual abuse. And on this channel I share things that I found helpful, things that encouraged me on my journey, things that I found difficult. I also cover news stories surrounding childhood sexual abuse and also interviews with other survivors, so that this can be a platform where everybody who's been through it can feel encouraged in spite of what has happened to them. So if this is the type of content that you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like button. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about celebrating your wins. The journey to recovering from child sexual abuse is a really difficult one. It is something that I found hard for a very long time. It felt like just as I was overcoming one part of my past, another part would pop up and I would have to deal with it. And it was just always like a constant battle, day in and day out. And the reason why I'm talking to you about celebrating your wins is because I believe it is important to acknowledge those good things that happen to you along this very difficult journey. It could be that your battle with depression has got better over time, or that your anxiety episodes have become less and less. It could be something like you have tried to do a course years ago and you've now managed to do it because you're in a much better place mentally. Or it could just be something as simple as today you have managed to get out of bed and be present in the day. These things are worth celebrating. I am really passionate about this, and in my book Choose Life I talk about the importance of celebrating yourself. That could be anything to do with you. And I say that because whilst on this journey you can acknowledge and see that things are going to be hard, because it involves acknowledging to yourself that you've gone through sexual abuse and then doing the work to repair the damage that was done in those circumstances. It is also important to celebrate those moments where you have those small victories or those wins. It may not be important to other people, and you may have shared something with somebody close to you that you've managed to do and they've shrugged it off and been like, oh, it's no big deal. But I want to encourage you to make it a big deal to you, because no one has known the things that you have gone through to get to where you are today. I struggled for a long time with celebrating myself and celebrating my wins. There was a few reasons why this was, and one of them was I was just too hard on myself. I actually did a video talking about being kind to you. I will leave at the top of this video right here. It was almost like I'd be hitting myself over the head saying, do better, try harder, you didn't do well enough. And it was this constant message that I'd always be telling myself that everything I did, everything I achieved was not good enough. And part of what was birthed out of that mindset of being too hard on myself and not being kind to myself was always going on to the next thing. Write a book. Yeah, big achievement. But then I wouldn't spend time in the moment celebrating that, reflecting how hard it was to write that book. I just went on to the next big thing. And I was constantly always doing that. And a few years ago, I decided that part of my self-love and my self-care and being kind to myself, I was going to start to celebrate my wins, no matter how big or small. And I celebrate them because they're personal to me and they're things that only I know how hard it was for me to achieve. And this is something I encourage you to do as well. And I want to share with you quickly 3 reasons why you should celebrate your wins. The first reason I want to share with you why it's important to celebrate your wins is because the journey to healing is hard. I found my journey to recovering and healing from sexual abuse very hard, a 25-year journey. For some people it might not take 25 years. Some people it might be a year, some people it might be 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But whatever journey you're on to get to where you need to be in recovering from child sexual abuse, celebrating your wins is really important. Those moments where you've overcome something, achieved something, something that you probably never thought that you could do, the hard work that you've put into something, the sacrifices, that could be going to therapy and committing to that process and staying present with that and pushing through those triggering feelings. These are things that are worth celebrating. It's very easy to get caught up in the journey to healing from child sexual abuse because it is all consuming and energy draining at times and emotionally draining. But if there are little things that you've achieved, or even things maybe that somebody has noticed that you've overcome, wherever it is, I want you to mark the occasion, because they come few and far between in the beginning and they are worth noting. The next reason I want to share with you why you should celebrate your wins is because it is self-encouragement. Maybe you've struggled with drinking too much or getting into dysfunctional situations. And over time, you have started to deal with the root causes of those things, and you now desire less to do those things. Therefore, you don't engage in them anymore. Only you know how long it's taken for you to get to a certain stage, to get a breakthrough with certain things that are going on in your life. Because during the journey of healing, I found in my experience, there is always something else to be dealing with. And it can be so frustrating and so discouraging when you have to be dealing with all the things that come along with trying to get over the past of going through childhood sexual abuse. So use self-encouragement as part of celebrating your wins. Hold on to those times where you had wins in those difficult situations, because when you go through the next set of things that you may find difficult or hard or even lose hope with ever overcoming, it will serve as self-encouragement to you. Another reason you should celebrate your win is that it will help you to realize how far you have come. Again, it ties into the whole self-encouragement theme of celebrating those things that have been totally difficult for you. I keep diaries over the years, and I've kept diaries now for probably 15 years. I do journal a lot. And one of the things that I find so encouraging is when I look back on my journals and see some things that I struggled with for so long that I thought was totally unachievable in me ever overcoming, and see today that I've overcome them. It has boosted my confidence. It has helped my self-esteem. It is good to celebrate your wins because it helps you to realize how far you've come. It's very easy on this journey from childhood sexual abuse to always be looking at the things that you're doing wrong, things that are not quite right in your life, things that you wish that you were better at. I realized I spent a lot of time looking at the things that I wasn't doing well. I do have this kind of perfectionist streak in me, and I think that kind of stemmed from the trauma of going through the things I went through in childhood, where I liked things to be just so, but it wasn't really serving me, it wasn't really helping me. And in being kind to myself and loving myself and wanting to just celebrate how far I've come, I wanted to start celebrating my wins. And how I do that is do many different things. Sometimes I might take myself off to my favourite coffee and cake shop with a book or my Vogue magazine and sit down and just relax and enjoy the moment. Other times I might treat myself to a meal or a new book. However you celebrate your win is not important. It could even be something like you write an entry in your journal and highlight it or make it nice to say that this was a special day because I overcame something that was really difficult, or I achieved something that I thought I couldn't do. It's just about being able to note that achievement. Mark the occasion however you want, and make sure you have it down so that in those times when the journey is difficult or tough, it will serve as self-encouragement to you.